So let me do these check-ins. So my check-ins are Wednesdays and Saturdays right now.
Okay, so wait, you just started online coaching?
No, 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 no. For cuts.
Oh,
From we're still doing check-ins. We're still seeing what the body's looking like.
nice.
Uh,
Is
so
that
it just
is that normal for you? Do you normally just kind of take time off check-ins after a show?
I don't ever check in after a show. I tell him, don't, bro, and he'll tell you this. I said, every time I text him after the show, I said, bro, don't text me, don't call me. I don't want to hear shit about no damn show. And he'll tell you that. But he was
You're
like,
just
this year,
courtside at the Lakers game.
this he was like, this year, no, you're checking in Wednesdays and Saturdays. I'm like, all right, let's do this because bro, this is my first reverse ever doing it correctly, So it's of course, I mean, I've had a couple cheat meals, but bro, it's still the same shit. Oatmeal. I got it right here. Got my little goulash. I'm finna fucking devour.
Sheesh.
Um,
What's meal one right now?
Meal one is Metamucil. Get
Okay.
that shit through your body. So I make it as more of like Jello.
Okay.
Shit's fire. I don't just drink Metamucil. But it's 8 ounces of egg whites, three whole eggs, 75 grams of oatmeal, and 100 grams of blueberries, and that's it.
Nice. Are
So
you trying to push to maximize this rebound, or are you just kind of, you know, easing your way into it?
Banks don't need size.
no, we just the main thing is, bro, is just not because when I come off of shows, I add fat so fast,
So do I.
so fast. So that's what we're trying to prevent going into this off season phase. So the main thing is we just upped the carbs in meal one. It was usually 60 grams of oatmeal. So, he's gradually pushing the carbs on
Yeah.
slowly, even though I'm eating a little bit as a couple cheat meals. But bro, even my cheat meals are stupid. I mean, only thing that is a cheat is the dessert. I mean, I have steak and fucking asparagus. Like that's fucking mud. But it's just cooked in a restaurant.
So how much weight are you guys up post show so far? Don't lie.
Six
Yeah,
pounds.
I'm about
Yeah.
12. Usually it's just 12. I always do 12. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean,
So
I
yesterday I actually did a little shoot at the gym with my buddy Kevin that you guys
Yeah, I know Kevin.
that you guys met. Yeah. So me, Jordan Clark, he's also an IFBB pro. We decided to kind of train with him. Obviously, I got some bad news this week, so I'm trying to get my head out of what I'm dealing with. So kind of been bouncing around, trying new things. My girlfriend Maria, she told me, she's like, you know what, if you got a call from somebody and they want to go work out, because I typically work out alone. They said if she's like, if you want to go work out and you got people calling you, you might as well take advantage of this. Like life is way too short, and this is something that was put in perspective early this week. I had to put my dog down, out of a freak accident, literally out of nowhere. It was only three. And, things like that is what makes you kind of realize that, it could be any of the same things with you guys, like be on your way somewhere and you get in a car accident. Next thing you know, it's like you never expected it to happen. And next thing they're not a part of this anymore. So it's things that you just got to pay attention to. So in order to kind of help myself out, I've been training with the guys and talking to Kevin and kind of being able to just take my mind off stuff, man. Yeah, that was my little boy.
Bro, I did
Yeah.
when I saw this, I think the hardest part about stuff like this is then when you start to relate it to yourself. And
Yeah.
yep.
that's when I started choking up. I was like, bro, I don't know what I would do without my dogs. Like, so I bet,
So that video that you're watching right now, I actually have my wound back on from when I was shot. That was draining out my leg. I got him as a therapy dog when I was in the hospital. I was talking to the breeder, and he was I got him at 6 months old, so he's a little bit older. But they just couldn't handle all the extra dogs because they had more litters. So I ended up getting him as like a discount Frenchie, right? And it's me and my sister for Christmas after, I came back home, and he was part of the family, man. Everybody loved him. He'd always wake me up in the morning. And we talked about this throughout the podcast. I said they're not like kids, but they are. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
bro,
like your children, but they're unconditional love, and it's almost like losing a kid. And it was just a shock because what happens with Frenchies is there's something called a designer dog, to
Yeah.
where they've been bred for years and years and years, and they're actually not even supposed to exist. But
Yep.
because they've been bred over and over and over again, they have a lot of downfall with their just the way that their bones are, their snouts, things like that. He had a mutated spine that we never even knew of. Um, yeah, he got the free pass to jump on my car. I'm like,
I
you
was
know
gonna
what?
say, that's how you know you love the dog. That's how you know you love
Yeah,
this dog, bro. But
yeah,
oh,
yeah. But he had a mutated spine that we never knew of. But 3 months ago, he had to go to the vet because he was so sick he wouldn't eat nothing. So we thought he ate like something poisonous or ate something in the yard that he was allergic to. So his liver enzymes were over 1,000,
yes.
and it ended up, we thought it was a toad or a frog or something like that. We still never got answers for it. But when we went to the animal hospital to see him, I noticed that his nuts were swollen. So I guess he tangled like one of his testicles and it had to be removed. Ever since he got neutered, and obviously being 2 years old, 2.5 years old at that time, usually you want to neuter a dog early on, but doing it later, like they could have temperamental issues. He
Yep.
started kind of peeing around the house, like leaking and stuff like that. We thought he was marking territory or something because I have another
Yep.
Frenchie. So I thought it was like a jealousy thing. But I mean, it was all taken care of. He was good. And, we thought it was all over with. But I guess I'm in New Jersey now. So my dad was kind of, watching the dog. So on Friday, I believe it was Friday, he said that, they walked him at night and everything, both of them together. He would walk around the neighborhood, smell everything, pee on everything like a normal happy puppy, right? Um, Came home, went to sleep. He woke up, he was moving a little bit sluggish. And then when football came on, my dad was just chilling with my mom. They were getting ready to like go out and, watch the game somewhere. They noticed that his back legs gave out and he was panting. And they rushed him to the dog emergency room, and they did some x-rays. And I think this was Sunday, so there was no MRI tech or anything around. But I guess the vet said that, okay, they did some tests, they were grabbing his legs, there was no response. They did an x-ray, and his spinal cord and his bones were all like V-shaped. They're supposed to be square, and they were all V-shaped, and they were like clumped together. And as time went on, he was getting worse. It was actually moving up to his chest, and he was paralyzed. So the
Oh.
last thing that you want to deal with is having, your dog, your little boy. I call him my little boy because that's what he was. He was like a human to me, helped me through the darkest things in my life. The hardest part for me was not being there physically.
Yeah.
My mom FaceTimed me when they kind of put him down and we made this decision. But the hardest thing is the shock initially that he's young. You know what I'm saying? And I did talk to one of my best friends, Zach Haight. He was telling me, he's like, if you knew that he was only going to live 3 years from the beginning, would you have still gotten him? I said yes. He's like, is there anything else you would have done differently in his lifespan? And I said, no, he had the best life. And it sucks to say that because I'm trying to focus on the positive right now. My mind's still bouncing around trying to get answers. Like, I got another Frenchie. What if it happens to her and things like that? And then I'm just kind of, my heart aches for him, but I'm trying to be as positive as I can. This is real life stuff. It happens.
Yeah.
If it happened during the Olympia, I probably would have pulled out of the Olympia, to be completely honest with you.
Jesus, man. As bodybuilders, we're so, I guess, homebodied for the majority that
Mm-hmm.
it's typically our dogs and pets in general, who we grow a very close bond with, man. And I think I need to increase my AIs because hearing these topics, like talking about this, is literally just putting me in a position where I'm starting to think and wonder and question. And I have one dog who's older than the other, and when he goes, how's the other one going to respond? Because he's literally just a carbon copy of him. That's all he's known. So I don't know, man. Change topics, but this, I feel for you, bro.
He had a good life, and now I'm just trying to remember the good part. But I'm glad that you actually went to the page. I want other people to know that if they're going through the same thing, they're not alone, because animals are just an unconditional love, innocent pet that's just there to make you happy. And that's exactly what he did for me.
Yeah. Have you guys been paying attention to like everything that's been going on in the fitness industry? I feel like since the Olympia, everything has kind of just blown up a bit.
The only story I really paid attention to is that Mike
Hey,
Van,
I
whatever.
gotta update me on everything because I
Yeah.
don't give two shits about
I
nothing right
think
now.
there's so much coverage on it that I don't have enough information to even really have an opinion. I just see it and it's like it's drama, but there's like so much drama. There's so many different topics.
Bro, it's like so much stuff that's coming out of nowhere. You have the Mike Van Wyck pushing Jeff Nippard. You have the Matt Jansen coaching situation. You have the Samson story coming out that his wife actually didn't coach him. All of these things that are coming up within the last couple of days. And I'm just sitting here like, we just stepped off the Olympia stage. Everybody's supposed to
Yeah.
be enjoying slash
Because
getting
there's no shows in sight. There's nothing like
yeah.
everybody's like now it's just back to being crazy and hectic, but it's always hectic. But these stories come out after, you
I'm just,
know.
I'm just sitting here like, holy shit. Like,
Okay, update me on the first two stories.
okay. So
Jeff Nippard.
yeah, so Mike
I
Van,
I've seen something, but I
okay.
didn't really.
Do you know who Mike Van Wyck is?
I've seen him.
So Mike Van Wyck, he's a trainer.
The dude with the tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big dude. He's on Fuad Abiyad's Bro Chat podcast. He's a funny guy, man. Great guy. He got a video made about him, or actually he made a video about science-based lifters and basically how a lot of times the science-based lifters who talk are the ones who don't look necessarily the best. And then Jeff Nippard made a response video using his video. I wouldn't say bash. He was not bashing him or anything. He just kind of took
He
what he
just clarified
yeah, he
everything.
clarified. He took what he said and it kind of cleared up exactly kind of why that might not be the best, output or view on it. And then in person, they both trained at the same gym. And then in person, Mike Van Gogh kind of walked up to him, shoved him down twice, and then pushed his videographer down also. Right. There's a little bit more information to the story, but enough. Like that's basically the
First
sum.
of all, why you ain't carrying? I swear to God, bro, I carry everywhere I go. I swear to God, if somebody did some dumb shit to me like that, bro, you're done.
Bro,
Like,
I love how that's the first thing you go to. Like, I'm gonna kill this nigga now.
Hey, but
bro, I don't-
listen.
bro,
I've
I
been
take
shot,
value in
man.
my life. I take
Yeah,
value in my life, bro. I'm a father. I got kids. Ain't nobody ever finna come put their hands on me in no
no,
type of situation, bro. That's the first thing I'm pulling. I'm not
unacceptable.
fighting. I'm pulling.
Yeah,
That's nothing to play with, bro. I'm not playing with nobody like that. You're not finna come disrespect me because I made a fucking Instagram video about you, bro. What?
and he didn't just push him. I think he like grabbed him by the neck and threw
Yeah,
him or something. Because wasn't he hospitalized?
yeah.
Yeah, he did have. That's what I seen. I seen the video of him in the hospital or something like with his neck or something. Yeah, I took a picture of his
I
neck or
mean, you
some
got
shit.
a guy that's like 6'5" and like twice your size, and he actually shoved him. I'm like, out of
Yeah,
anything, like I get it. You could be pissed off and say some shit, but you don't put your hands on somebody like that. And I mean, I don't know this guy personally, but after seeing that, it just
but
seemed like,
first of all, like
I think this is.
regardless of him being assaulted, whatever the case may be, bro, protect yourself. Why didn't you get your ass up and protect yourself?
I mean, bro, let's be. Jeff Nippert
I
is
don't give a fuck how big somebody
he's
is.
five
yeah.
five, and this
I don't
motherfucker is
care.
probably like six
You
seven.
know how many weights is sitting around there? I would have threw a fucking plate at his head. Is you crazy?
Yeah,
You're
like
not gonna push me in, bro. He just got embarrassed. I don't give a fuck about him posting that, bro. That's an embarrassment. Your kids are gonna watch this
And
video.
here's the biggest thing, though, being in the fitness industry, this is kind of giving a bad rap to a lot of bodybuilders because when they think meatheads, bodybuilders, this and that,
yeah,
Of
tatted
course
big
they think of
dude,
that.
they're just it makes us all look bad when you see stuff like this, and
That's crazy,
that's
bro.
something that is really just you know that's why people are addressing it. This is unacceptable. No matter how pissed off you were, no matter what this guy said, you can't just walk up to somebody and put your hands on him. We live in a completely different society now to where, you know, social media is literally part of the game. If you can't handle it, you shouldn't even be on it. Like you can't just see somebody in person. Cause I
Yeah,
remember
I seen that.
there was
Yeah,
a
I see.
video with, wasn't like Joey Stacks and there was another guy that called him out. He didn't shove them guys around.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
Put it this way.
Joey and my dog, Big
Was
Boy.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't shove. Yeah, but when they went up to him, they didn't shove that guy.
Bro,
Those
that's
guys
the
around.
thing, bro. People pick on people who they think they can get away with shit. Like you're not gonna pick on the like. I swear to God, I wish he would have picked on Big Boy. Big Boy
Yeah.
would have.
It wouldn't have
He
happened.
would not be living. He would not be living.
And then
No.
after all of this, Pure Muscle and Fitness, the gym actually revoked his ability to coach because he was a trainer
As they should.
at that gym. And yeah, and that's the thing, because he's been there for a long time. And I feel like I've always, when I think of that gym, I think of him being there too. He's one of those popular guys.
That's where I seen him when I did Toronto, and I remember seeing him. He looked familiar, but I didn't know, who he was. I just remember seeing him around, and being at a gym like that, a big gym, and then having all this happen, it would just make that gym even look bad too, and that's why they had to do the proper measures to get him out of there.
They had to, and if they didn't, boy.
I'll play this video, and I want you guys because this is kind of where Mike got mad. And
This is what it happened. This is what started it.
This is like Mike.
Can you see it?
Yeah. This is what basically started.
And space guys, science guys really need to answer this question for anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show. And while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5'5" tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training. And if you want to make it in the IFBB, steroid use. I like science because it gives me more confidence in what actually works and what doesn't, because it isolates variables. If you trust a big guy's advice over scientific studies, that doesn't bother me. I listen to what big guys have to say too.
I respect you.
So
that was it.
Like he made that dude like a fucking idiot.
Wait.
That's why you did that.
Drew, that was my exact reaction, because I didn't see this video before I saw the other video of him pushing him, and I'm like, oh, he must have roasted his ass. And then
he dog walked him professionally.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. He put a suit and tie on. Went in.
Boy, boy over there in his feelings hurt. Like,
yeah,
what?
The thing is, and I'm not going to sit here. I like Mike Van Wyck. I love a lot of his teachings. I love his practices. He's somebody who is like, I feel like even as a coach myself, I'm somebody who relies on science-based, findings in order to make decisions. But I'm also an athlete, and I understand that a lot of times things can't be
I understand both
on science. So
both.
you have to understand both, right? So when it comes to Mike is one side, and I firmly believe in it, but also Jeff is another side. Because Jeff's not just somebody who's like, I'm only science. He understands that, you got to have experience based off of actually doing the X's and O's, so like I've always been a combo of both teachings, but it's weird when two worlds collide literally physically. And now it's just sitting here like, I don't know, man.
It's the same shit as, are you a natural bodybuilder or are you still like,
yeah, I agree.
Same shit.
I agree. But yeah, so that's one story. All right. And then
Jesus, what's going on? That's big. I didn't know it was to that measure.
Yeah, it was.
Like
I thought they went back and forth or something. Like I thought it was a bigger argument.
Yeah, that's what I had thought. Like they was going back and forth. And then when I heard that they was in the same gym, I was like, oh, they really just irritated with each other. And then he just did that. But no, Buddy just put up a fucking video, didn't cuss, didn't fucking didn't say his name. But he put his face up there because that's what he was referring to. But Buddy just dogged him and professionally.
He got mad. Yeah, he got mad about it.
He got in his feelings. He got in his feelings. Like, boy, the trend might be high right now.
Yeah. And then we have the whole Matt Jansen situation. When
this is one that I didn't really pay attention to much.
I didn't understand it all because went from what I was looking into. It was like, okay, all these guys were leaving. Then Matt made a post, but then all the guys that were leaving were still praising Matt. So I
Giving
didn't
him
know
flowers for what he
what
did.
the
Yeah.
hell was the big uproar about. I don't
Well,
understand.
it started off with Quentin Beastwood making a video on YouTube. And in the video, when I mean he went in, like, bro, he went in. Like he went Aaron Banks, fuck it, I'm out this bitch kind of mentality. Like he, bro, it was like it was crazy. Like the like kind of things that he said, he was like, just watch it if you haven't. Like I can pull it up, but it was crazy. And then that video started a kind of like an avalanche because then we saw Nick Walker comment back on a post saying, I'm no longer with Matt Jansen. And then after that, you see Brett Wilkins on a podcast, very respectfully, I want to make sure I add, say that him and Matt are no longer working together. And then you hear rumors, and then they get confirmed that Sean Clarita is no longer working with Matt. And then Matt finally comes out and addresses it by simply saying he has had a lot on his plate over the last, X amount of years, whatever it might be. Matt has always been a phenomenal family man, and you can clearly see that all throughout his time in the industry. And then from there, he started to kind of invest in a lot of other outside activities in bodybuilding, whether it was he was doing triathlons, whether it was creating and starting businesses. Obviously, we know Revive, doing extremely successful. And then he admitted the fact that his focus has been somewhat taken off of bodybuilding. And then because of that, he believes his clients somewhat have suffered. And basically, at the end, he hit on something that I couldn't agree more with, where he doesn't feel like all the backlash that he's getting is 100% warranted. Now, he came out, he owned it, which I 100% respect. But I think with a lot of the clients that he had this past year, not necessarily reaching their fullest potential, is kind of where things started to blow up. And it sucks because Matt's a good coach, man. I don't care what nobody says. He's a good coach. And his track record went from literally being the best coach in the world just last year. I'm talking about Mr. Peak Week, as people called him, to now being one of the worst coaches in a matter of one video. So I get where people are coming from. Then there's a lot of other people coming out saying, yes, he did the same thing. He's telling me that my drugs are also fake. That's why I'm not getting in shape, but that's not why, yada, 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 right? And then Phil Viz is going in because they've never had the best relationship. So there's a lot of people jumping on a bandwagon of trying to bring him down. And now there's people coming from the other side, trying to, I'm going to say bring him up, but also add validation where it's just
At
saying,
the end of the day, I can relate to Matt.
yeah.
Like everybody gonna fucking hate when you at the top of that mountain. Boy, they want to shoot you down so fast. And at the end of the day, like he said, he's focusing on his family. I'm gonna tell you this, Matt. Fuck what everybody else is saying, and fuck what people are saying. Go worry about your family and your business. Ain't nobody paying your bills. Fuck them. Fuck them. I wouldn't even post no more. Do what you do. Like they everybody gonna have something to say regardless of coaching. Yeah, you may have stepped away from bodybuilding mentally a little bit, but at the end of the day, he still was doing his best. Sean Clarita still plays second in the fucking world. Like
And
he was still there. So there's no reason for bro, I wouldn't even post this shit. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about me. I don't give a damn. Y'all not paying my bills.
I don't think he owes any.
He don't owe nobody shit.
Yeah, but if you paid attention to kind of how much it was, I feel like this post did apps help a lot because once he did make this post, a lot of people started to come back out of the woodworks for him. You know what I mean? And again, I mentor under Dom Kuza. Dom Kuza is a part of Camp Jansen, so there's a reason why I invest in his knowledge is because I believe in a lot of the teaching that camp comes with. Now, obviously, you have to be able to decipher and make adjustments according to what you truly value and what you think is going to be best case for your clients, but there are smart people over there. And whether it was a lack of focus or was it just a lack of, a passion for the sport anymore, I just never been a fan of people jumping on people and ripping them apart, especially based off of one video when the other person hasn't had the opportunity to come out and actually tell his side of the story. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the industry over the last week has been
But
chaotic.
that's what I said. This motherfucking industry is so goddamn fake. It's annoying. That's why I say trust fucking nobody. Like, I don't give a damn.
It's
Fuck
been,
everybody.
Do you think this all started from the Nick Walker situation?
oh, it did, 100%. I mean, because the Nick Walker video was a little
Kind of
weird.
going downhill.
It was weird,
No, I
bro.
don't think so. I didn't
Okay,
start there.
it did. You got to realize, because Nick,
I know where it started from because I
Nick
heard it in
deleted,
Dubai. But I'm
uh,
not gonna say what and who and how. But
It's
I
Nick,
heard it
always
in
things
Dubai.
that build up behind the scenes. I think that there's always reasons, but
Nick deleted the
But I
video.
didn't know it was gonna come out like this.
No, it did. And I think the timing is everything, and it came out at a horrible time. Um, Nick deleted the video that him and Matt originally made about dropping out of the Olympia. You can kind of see it in the video where Nick was kind of reserved and like almost just not putting too much input on it, and Matt mainly spoke. And that video was uploaded on Nick's account, from my understanding. So it was a little weird that way. But the one thing that really stood out to a lot of people was that everybody started to come out and say that Matt said that the reason why they weren't getting where they needed to be was likely because of the fake gear. And I think that's where a lot of people came out and said, wait, he said the same thing to me. He said the same thing to me. And regardless of whether that's true or not, this is just what people are saying. I know Phil speculating, so I'm not going to sit here and put too much credence to it. But I will say, like, if that were the case as an athlete, like if I heard that, if my coach said that to me, and then I also heard him saying that to everybody else, then I'd be like, well, are we all getting the gear from the same spot? Are we, why is this happening? Like, well, there's some kind of trend here that's just a little off. But like I said, even with all of that information, I still can't take away from the coach that he is, man. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, yes, he's probably going to step away from coaching. He hasn't initially said that. But if he ends up doing that, it'd be crazy to think that, this situation is going to be the last thing people remember about his coaching, when I personally am going to choose to remember all the damage that he's done over the
I
last
agree.
year.
I agree. He's still one of the best coaches with all
Yeah.
the guys that he's transformed and done, whether it's personal things he's going on with, or, a few guys like having disagreements with him about whatever his protocol is. You got to remember the positives and what he has done in the sport for, I think it's nearly a decade, right? I think he's been around for a long time, and he's taken a lot of guys from here and put them here, so you got to give credit where credit's due.
So, since we're on the topic of open bodybuilding, I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to kind of rewatch the Olympia, or kind of see footage from Samson and all the guys. But what would you guys think of this Opens bodybuilding year?
Most complete with Samson. Most complete. Shock of the show is Martin Fitzwater. And after the run that he gave Nick at New York Pro this year, I did have him in there. I think Hottie was not the best Hottie that we've seen. He's always the most peeled from the front, but the back, he was definitely exposed. I think Derek looks amazing, but I think his upper body was so much more dominant than his lower, and his separation in his hamstrings wasn't as normal. But when you look at overall completeness, and this is kind of what I think with every division, like one guy has a really good front, but then the other guy has like an okay back. It's the most balanced of all aspects. So if you look at Samson, from upper body to lower body symmetry, pose for pose, which looks the most aesthetic, but complementing with obviously the size in the division and just fullness and the conditioning that he brought, this was the best Samson we ever seen. I think him doing a show 2 weeks prior to the Olympia and seeing where he looked and the improvements he made from then, and then having him in this lineup, I had Samson winning after prejudging, and he got better for finals. The shock for me was Derek being in that third spot. Do I think he deserves it? Absolutely. But when you come in as Mr. Olympia and you're moving back like that, I mean, especially in the open, I mean, that kind of shows that he's not as dominant. A lot of people were saying, they said like he's going to be one of the bodybuilders that goes on a reign, but I'm seeing it more in Samson now. Like, who looks like the Sandow? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a Nick Walker or like a Derek on the Sandow, even though like they're up there. Samson is so dominant, even with his height and his fullness. And you think about bodybuilding, the freak factor with aesthetics, like, I mean, he's that guy that's progressively getting better throughout years and years and years. Like from when I first saw him in 2021, the improvements that he's made, and bodybuilding is about improvements too.
Yeah.
I just think that he was the most complete that day. And, you know, the size and the sheer I was tanning right next to him. I don't know if you guys saw the picture, but when I was looking at Samson, the people that say his conditioning is off or he's watery, bro, he had cross-striated glutes and veins just sitting there getting a tan. His ass looked like a walnut. Like his glutes are peeled. He is in. Like, you know, I think maybe it's because of his skin tone and being so dark too, that you might not see it on a monitor. But I will say, when you see him in person, man, I never seen somebody like that my entire life.
I will say
Samson just need a glaze. He don't need no tan. He just need a glaze.
No. Yeah.
But the thing
Look at
is,
his quads, bro.
Samson too. Like Samson he's been my dog. We've always had our little relationship and talked on through DMs and stuff. And bro, I do see Samson going on a run. And the only person that I do see knocking him off whenever he puts it together is Andrew Jack.
You're jacked.
Everybody else, it's over.
Don't forget though, because Derek,
I'm not forgetting. I'm not forgetting.
2 years ago,
you
212. He won the 212 2 years ago. So
no, I understand that.
We're
talking about big boys now and that are putting it together.
Look at this lineup right now. Yeah, but look at the lineup. If you kind of step back a little bit and you look at Martin, Hadi, and Derek, they're all similar in stature structure. Who sticks out the most? Just with height and just sheer size. Like if you look at Derek, Hadi, and Martin, they all look very similar as far as their chest, their shoulders, their arms. Like they almost look like the same person. There's only so much muscle. There's only so much muscle that you could put on a frame that's short. Now, if when you got a tall guy, he could still put on size, bro. Samson could still add. Like you look at this, like, okay, Samson could still use more lats. Samson could still, you know, use some more density throughout his whole body because he has the stature to fill out even more. And that's just only going to separate him even more throughout the years. And we know he can improve because he has been improving.
Bro, it's just like that when he first came when he first hit the scene, it was like he's Ronnie Coleman-ish.
Yeah.
Bro, once he continues to feel that.
Okay, but this is so I agree. I think the highest ceiling on this stage is Samson. And if he controls that variable every single time he steps on stage, there's nobody beating him. There's nobody. But in the same breath, I can make an argument for damn near anybody on this stage to be in a conversation for a win. Like I said, I was at finals. I witnessed this. Nobody was more conditioned than Hadi, and that's pretty consistent.
Bro, no one's ever
from the front.
Hold on. And then nobody is as balanced on this stage than Martin Fitzwater. Now he needs to add continuously. He's not in the same category as size.
Martin is the shocker. Martin looks phenomenal.
And then
Derek, you also got to understand, you can't say, if somebody gets this, somebody gets that. Well, what if Samson continues to do what he do?
But he hasn't shown that consistency. He hasn't.
What?
He hasn't. Even 2 weeks before.
Show after show after show after show.
Absolutely not.
He's gotten.
Bro,
what?
Absolutely not. He's been inconsistent with his conditioning. There's no question about that. And
the past year, his conditioning has progressively gotten better.
Yes,
this whole year.
Before then, when he worked with Milos, that's when it was inconsistent.
And when he left Milos,
he's got the recipe.
He's only done 2 shows, if I'm not mistaken.
But that's still progress. Yes, it doesn't matter. He's still progress.
We're talking about progression. We're not talking about 2 years ago, Aaron Banks. 2 years ago, Aaron Banks won a fucking Mr. Olympia. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about fucking this year, the ball is rolling and he's moving forward. Ain't nobody fucking with Samson.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I think
if he brings that conditioning with more size, more dense, and filling out the lats and everything, bro, he's going
again.
to rank.
Samson's success is in his hands. Nobody else's. Because if everybody else shows up 100% and Samson shows up 100%, Samson wins. It's not necessarily about anybody else other than him staying that consistency. Now,
Right.
just saying that based off of even just last Olympia, right? There wasn't as much consistency leading in. Now he seemingly found that recipe with his wife, with Merrick Health, and maximizing his look. So if he can continue to do that, bro, I'm sorry, he will be somebody who continuously reigns for years to come.
So who's coaching him?
So this is a thing. Apparently his wife is coaching him, and now there's some things coming out saying that somebody else was coaching with them, but they didn't want people to know. And then that
But
guy.
Here's the thing.
That's fine. Who gives
Here's
a
the thing.
fuck?
Why does it matter? You're taking away somebody's win. And that's kind of what I saw in RX Muscle this morning. They're like, oh, poor Samson, you know, go to the RX Muscle page. It kind of explains a little bit more. I like Dave Palumbo's content. I think he's not biased. I think he calls it how it is.
You don't give a fuck.
I think it was RX Muscle. He was talking about, maybe he took it down. I'm not sure. But he was talking about how when Hadi won, you know, it just everybody's praising him. When Derek won, it's like, okay, this is another USA champ who's going to go on a reign. Big Ramy won. He goes back to his country. There's parades and everything. But Samson won, and nobody's really saying anything about it. All they're doing is picking apart who his coach is. Does it really matter? He brought in a look that was absolutely the best Samson we've ever seen, and they're worried about his coach.
Yeah,
nobody's really congratulating him, and I feel bad for that.
I talked to him and his wife literally because we all stayed in the same.
Yeah, I don't know what page it was on here.
We stayed in the same hotel, and I had literally we was talking for like 5 to 10 minutes, and just giving him, like kind of like that talk, not like a pep talk to oh my gosh, you got this, but it was just more of, bro, like you did it. Like this is something that people have doubted you, and I kept telling him, bro, I was just saying and I relate to so many people who get doubted because, bro, I've been doubted my whole entire life, and especially when I got into this industry, and I was just told him and his wife, said, keep doing it, just stay focused, don't even listen to the noise because the noise is gonna come. He was like, yeah, it's already coming. I'm like, bro, you just got to stay focused and keep doing what you and your wife is doing. I call her coach. I call her coach. You know what I mean? And now to hear people kind of like step over that, like, bro, the disrespect in this fucking industry is so real and it's annoying.
You know what's funny, bro? The most backlash I've ever gotten was when
you won.
I won. But it's always when you won Dubai, you got fucking torched, right? And now Samson, he's the people's champ, and there's still people are trying to find ways to bring it down, and it's just wild to me that
it's okay, Samson. You won $850,000 damn dollars.
Yeah, like
fuck everybody, bro.
He wants a new McLaren, a new McLaren.
And what's funny is, because I placed like shit at the Olympia this year, bro, I got people telling me, yo, you're bright, your future's bright, don't worry about none of that shit. Like, I got people on my side when I lose more than it's just
you win.
And y'all and you're watching this, you fall in the suit and that, like, and don't get me wrong, a lot of that shit you don't even realize. It's just innate, right? Like, it's just y'all need to change that motherfucking perspective.
Here, Alex, let me say this. Sometimes I go through the comments on here after we release videos because we usually drop these 2 days later.
You know what?
And the amount of guys.
I don't even read comments on this shit.
Listen, we had to tell Aaron that he has new fans because when Aaron doesn't win, the people are like, "Oh man, the way that Aaron explained this, and he's got a good head on his shoulders and this and that." But he wins, and then it's like, "Oh, he's cocky. He's this. He's that." And it's like, that's Aaron Banks. I remember after Aaron won his first Arnold, he went on live and he was in the hotel room and he was talking. He goes, "I don't do this for anybody but myself and my kids. E-Banks is still E-Banks," and that's when I had respect. And I always, even when we did Wasatch together, even before that, when you were nobody, I recognized the potential. And I always reposted you, and I always like kind of shot you some messages. I'm like, dude, you're going to be something, because it was the way that you held yourself. And then a lot of people liked it. But when you started doing good, that's when they're like, because you spoke it into existence, they're like talking shit about you.
let's
Yep.
You know,
let's read these because they're wide range, bro. It's people talking hella shit, and then it's people bringing people up. I got
But
chill.
what's crazy is the same people who was talking shit is now talking good.
and the same people that always say something about me. I remember I did a prediction a couple of weeks ago with Will, and somebody was like, Drew's just mad because Will beat him in 2022. You know, the first show I came back after being shot. And I'm thinking in my head, nothing I've ever said in these is me being mad. It's me giving my prediction. And it's like, okay, look where Will placed at Olympia. Am I on here mad? No, I'm mad at myself because I didn't place where I thought I would place. And it's the same guys that used to kiss my ass in my DMs.
And
Man, you look great. Let's get a workout in. Hey, man, I want to coach you. It's the same guys that are commenting bullshit now. And it's like, oh, you're just mad because of this. I think they're mad because I didn't take them on because they don't have good genetics.
That
yeah,
part.
do you know what's funny? I can click in and see comments over time from like a single person, so you can see kind of the consistency of their comment.
And it's all on here, and it's all the same,
and
the
I'll say
same
this.
type of negative comment. It's
Yeah,
nothing good.
Exactly. But I always say you have an opinion, share it. I'm not going to sit here but when you are consistently trying to be negative and it shows a pattern, I will restrict that person so they see their comment, but no one else does. So they think they're still talking shit, and then nobody else can see it. So that's the funny shit. So if people want to stay negative, that's fine. I'm gonna let y'all, build negativity.
That's what it is.
But like, it's wild to me. If you have constructive criticism and you don't agree with something that we said, guys, that is fine. Voice it. Be respectful. Voice that shit. We don't care. Like, we literally get judged half naked on stage for a living. Like, that's totally fine. You're allowed to share your opinion. But when it gets disrespectful, that's when shit gets
and when it gets personal,
go ahead, talk about my family.
And then when when you block them, it's, oh, look how mad I made them. It's like, no, I'm blocking you because I don't want to deal with it. Because I know Aaron, is just like me. We don't want to deal with it. We see something negative and we block it.
Bro, I got like 9,000 people
with
blocked on my page. I got like 9,000 people blocked on my page.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah.
Let's read this real quick. I got chills listening to Aaron's feedback at Alex. I've commented under every video on his DMs the exact same thing. His body is not tired. He's not being peaked correctly. You can tell by the lack of vascularity and fullness. His body is not dehydrated, so it will not pop. This is science. Him stopping free workouts, all of that 4 weeks out, and none of that makes any sense. I'm so glad somebody he respects like Banks said something. Messing around with the water sodium is something who understands the body is alarming. Please listen to Banks. This person kind of just, first of all,
I mean, they're right. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. They're right.
I'm not saying he's not, but there's some things in here you said that are completely false. Like, we don't touch my sodium. Yeah, we manipulate water, but everybody manipulates water closer to the other. But outside of that, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not right. He has an opinion on it. And I haven't been peaked 100%. And again, it's just one of those situations. But it's funny because, Aaron, you probably gained like 1,000 new followers just in like.
Because when y'all had told me, because bro, I don't read these comments. Like,
we had to tell them on the group chat to go and look.
I've learned to step back from fighting my battles and going back and forth with people. So I just eliminate even looking at comments. But bro, like, when y'all had sent me, I said, let me go look. I'm like, damn, okay. Like, oh, I agree. Aaron May. I'm like, I get it.
Tell him, Banks, keep it on it with your boy. Hard conversations, but it's truthful. Time for Alex to take it to the next level. It wouldn't be great to see Aaron take over the classic division. Ooh, show them legs.
Now they're really jumping on it.
Now they really love you. Now they're gassing you.
But that's the thing, bro. I think a lot of people started the whole classic thing when I posted that picture before the Olympia of my legs. And bro, that's one area that I really did improve on. And I told Cuts going forward, let's really get the body to where when I am ready to kind of hang it up fully, I need to do a
maximize.
I need to do a classic show before I'm done. Before I'm done, I will definitely tap into a classic show and see
next the thumbnail.
See where I stand. See where I stand.
This one's a long ass comment, but did you guys see this one? I love how Aaron is the least serious one about bodybuilding, while Alex and Drew are so hardcore, old school, living and breathing that gym bro lifestyle, tracking every meal year round. It's so easy to get sucked into the world, but when you step out of the world and enjoy everything life has to offer, you question what the hell you were even doing all of it for. The fact that Aaron can completely go off the rails, live a normal life, and still come back and place top 3 in the biggest stage is some of the boss level shit. Alex and Drew, y'all need to take notes, and everyone for that matter. Every bodybuilding is not life. There's a reason certain physiques aren't progressing in that direction. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and stop taking bodybuilding so seriously. Aaron gets it. Live life. Don't track everything. Trust your intuition with food and keep living a healthy lifestyle. Sometimes going back to the basics is exactly what you need to get.
Hold on, I got this one. I
agree to disagree.
I'll let you get it. Go ahead.
So Chris seems like somebody that hasn't watched the rest of our videos, because as Men's Physique Radio, we preach positivity, and the main theme of all our videos is to have structure and other things in our life.
Yes,
I don't track shit year round. There's a difference between prep. There's a difference between being in your off season. Also, let me remind you, Banks is 1 in 9 billion on planet Earth that can do what he does.
Thank you.
It's completely different. Now, Chris, I don't know anything about you. Don't know the way that you look. I mean, you're in a suit and a tie in your picture. At least you have a profile picture. But the thing is, that mindset is not going to take you anywhere to maximize your potential. You still have to put in the work. You still have to give this your all to be the best. You know what I'm saying? It seems like maybe he just watched the snippet of the video and saw, a little piece of what we're talking about. But Men's Physique Radio, since we started doing this 6 months ago, we preach having structure. We preach doing other things, having kids, having businesses, taking care of other things. That's why we're at where we're at. And you got to remember, if we ate, slept, and did bodybuilding, we wouldn't be on here doing coverage for absolute free, for free content for you guys to listen to, so you can voice your opinion and we could address it.
No, listen, first of all, Chris, I appreciate your outlook. Even though I don't 100% agree with it, I appreciate it. There's no question in my mind that we want, this is comments that we encourage. If you have an opinion that's different than ours, speak it. Don't be disrespectful, right? You support the channel. We appreciate you. Now, in prep to this day, I have never missed a meal. I've never missed a cardio session. I have always been one of those guys who execute and try to hold myself to the highest standard I physically possibly can, right? And I hold myself, I'm proud of that. Now, when it comes to the off season, don't get me wrong. I have not missed a meal on my reverse. I have not missed a day of cardio. I still do everything that I need to do to control my variables, but at the same time, we had Ryan Terry on the podcast. He talked about how important balance is. I can guarantee you this, Ryan hasn't followed a reverse plan since he's gotten home. You know why? Because he went on vacations for 2 straight weeks. And I get that and I respect that, and there's going to be times where I am going and traveling and taking my wife somewhere where I'm not going to follow it. But at the same time, when I am home and I'm in my normal environment, when I can maximize my time, I'm going to do so. Because I know there's also going to be times where I need to be flexible and I want to be in the moments without carrying my chicken, my rice and everything with me. So that's my balance. And everybody's balance looks different. Some people's balance is being 100% and locking the fuck in and doing that only. And that's fine. I truly believe balance, and everyone's balance is different, is how you maximize that person's fullest potential. So some people's balance might be all in on bodybuilding and 0% anything else. Other people, and that makes them 100% in what they need to focus on, and that makes them the best version of themselves. Some people it's 50-50. Some people's the complete opposite. We know people, old school bodybuilders like Lee Priest. He would literally eat burgers and bullshit all day in an off season, literally gain 60, 70 pounds in an off season, and then go right back to prep and switching it, right? Everybody's balance looks different, right? Balance to me isn't 50-50. It's just whatever keeps you in alignment to still do what you need to do in your bodybuilding responsibilities, but also in your social life and personal life and family responsibilities. So listen, I agree with some of the stuff that he said, but like I said, I think Aaron's balance just might be different than ours. And that's how I look at that.
But here's the thing that we all live in common.
They don't
when
understand,
we're in
bro.
prep, we're all 100.
We're
When
all
we're in prep, Banks ain't eating cupcakes and shit. Like
Hell no.
he's making, he
But-
still gives his kids the time that they need and everything. But when it comes to diet, he's 100% in, just like us.
Yep.
But I think people don't understand, bro, that I have kids. That's a different lifestyle than you two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm
So
married. That's different.
I have to have that. I have to have that type of balance because, bro, if I was so stuck into fucking bodybuilding all day, every day, bro, my kids would hate me.
Yeah.
Like my kids would hate me.
But that's what I'm saying. And people, bro, there's some people who will sacrifice that shit, and their kids will hate them. But we're talking about balance, right?
Ryan has kids too.
I was just about to say, we're talking about balance.
Hold on, fellas. I got a good woman. She ordered me Starbucks.
Oh my God, man. But like he's in love, bro. I love it. He's in love. but that's what I'm saying, man. Like you want to compare people who aren't necessarily nailing their looks and getting there. But then, okay, who is nailing their looks? Who is getting there? Think at the top, Ryan Terry. He's nailing it, right? He's doing what he needs to do. He's winning Olympias, but he's literally a guy who, when he steps off stage,
one of the most busy guys too. I mean, he has everything going that's no different than you running businesses. And the only thing about this guy's opinion is we do appreciate the opinion, but if you had that outlook towards a business and it was like, oh, you can't be all in your business because you have to have structure, that business isn't going to do well.
Yeah,
that part.
That part. All right, what's your Starbucks order?
So it's the brown sugar oat express, shaken express.
That sounds good.
It's golden. I think it's only 75 to 100 calories. So
Drew, what's your
wait, here's the guy that North Fresh Sushi Fitness. So he's always, if you click all his negative stuff. So when I was talking about overhyped with Ali, I was talking at the actual show when everybody said Ali beat Ryan. He didn't. He definitely improved the most from last year. Him winning New York and Pittsburgh. Hey, listen, I won Chicago and nobody had me anywhere. Ali won 2 of the biggest shows. And yes, he had a lot of momentum going into Olympia. And we kind of all knew that Ali would be in that top 3. But when we were actually at the Olympia and people said that Ali beat Ryan, that's where that hype kind of came in from a different direction to where I didn't necessarily agree with. And then people saying Ali should have won. There's a difference between should have, and there's a difference between the facts of what actually happened and being there in person. I had Ryan winning. Ryan had the full package. And I'll be completely honest with you. And I love Ali. I had Aaron beating Ali. When you look at, this isn't a look anymore. It's about who's the most complete. Ali has the best midsection in the IFBB, arguably with Ryan Terry, right? But Ali has a more symmetrical, diced core where he could pull off both sides. But when you look at the chest and the shoulders and the back, Banks is a more complete men's physique athlete when it comes to 2 poses, front and back. That's why I had Banks over Ali. So with the hype of just, what everybody else says versus what you're actually seeing with your eyes, that was my opinion on it. Yeah. You got to remember, this channel is still about opinion. We're still addressing what we think as competitors, as fans, as seeing these guys from 2 feet away, literally hitting an overhead abdominal with Ali in person. I think the hype on the show day to where they had them beating Ryan, I didn't agree with it. That was it.
I just think you used the wrong word to explain that because overhype seemed a little aggressive, but I will say this. I was at finals. I watched it in person. Now, granted, finals and prejudging are different. And they're not necessarily rejudged at finals. They're not. But when I was sitting there, man, it was closer than a lot of people think. I think it took me coming home and realizing, okay, when I got a chance to see how their backs were compared, is it separated them. I don't care what nobody says. And this wasn't, keep in mind, this wasn't the 100% best version of Ryan Terry. Most conditions, yes. So like you also got to take that with a grain of salt. I think this was close to, if not the version of Ali. But I think if I had to put it in simple form, Ali won from the front and Ryan separated enough from the back. And I think that when it comes to Ryan, or when it comes to Ali and when it comes to Aaron, I think if they both fixed one thing on their physiques, they both could have been in the conversation to win. I think if Ali had a better back or a wider back, I think he could have been the conversation to win. And that's going
And
to
if
take.
Aaron had a drier, I wouldn't even say more conditioned. I would say if Aaron was drier, there's shredded and then there's dry shredded. And with the feedback that Aaron got back, Aaron was light years ahead of Dubai. But I think with all the extra density that he added since 22 version, I think that muscle needs to solidify a little bit more because you're still bubbly. You're the fullest guy on stage. That's why your feedback being flat was like,
I agree,
mind blowing to me. Like, you know, and that's where we talked about the disrespect in men's physique. Like, we're talking about how men's physique isn't getting the coverage. Without us, I don't know where a lot of people would get their information. And that's why I love doing this, because I really want to push that sport out. You know, I really want it to be acknowledged for, you know, everybody's hard work. That's why we cover everybody. We're not just doing shows and picking out our favorites. We're covering and going through each individual guy.
And again, I think this is why it's hard, man, because we're athletes in this sport, and we're fans, and we give coverage. So people will see that, you know, and think that we're trying to kind of paint a narrative that, you know, it's just not accurate. When we are analyzing these physiques, guys, you got to realize we're analyzing one. Let's be real. Maybe outside of Aaron, we're analyzing people who are better than us. Like who we're striving to beat, right?
We have to. We want to be at the top. We got to see and understand what they have and what we need to improve to be competitive against these guys. Like, I know that Ali beat me at Olympia. I know that Ali also was last call out at last year's Olympia. So it's almost like if he could do it, Alex could do it.
Exactly.
And that's what I understand, because at the end of the day, we talked about the structure. We all have the structure. We all have this structure. Banks has the best structure on planet Earth for men's physique. There's other little variables that come into play with conditioning or certain individual muscle groups and parts. Like me, I lack the back, but I know my front can hang. So there's little things with us. Alex, you have the complete physique. It's just conditioning, drying out, peaking the right way. We all have it to bump up. And Ali looked great when he placed when in 2023, when Ali was fourth or fifth call out, he still did not look bad to me. And I didn't think that he deserved to be in that call out.
He didn't.
And if you look side by side, yes, he's made great improvements.
Not dramatic improvements, right?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought I was the only one who thought this, because I went back to look at 2023's because you know me, I gather all the information before I make a video where I talk. Dude, when I saw his physique, I was like, wait a minute, don't get me wrong, he looks crazy better, and his back is the biggest improvement. But I'm like, he does not look at a point where it's like last place, second place. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's where I was like, damn, it really comes down to the fine-tuned details that could truly separate you. And I don't think for a second that he did not deserve to be in that top two conversation. I don't. I think Aaron's physique was nasty, and I think Aaron has the highest ceiling amongst everybody. And not to mention, I believe he can still add some emphasis to his look just with the weight cap. Because I think the other two guys are completely
just wait, motherfuckers.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the other two are just maxed out. Like in terms of like, what are they going to do? I believe
exactly.
Ali's and then like they have to get really creative. Aaron, motherfucker, can just grow. Like so, it's
just got 10 pounds.
You got 10 pounds? I thought you had like a couple. Jesus Christ.
But he dried out and then he dropped a little bit more, so he knows he has more wiggle room. And this is one thing that I kind of wanted.
225 on Thursday.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Cap is 232.
So what Alex saying that, you know, these guys don't have much wiggle room to they're maxed out for their physique. The reason I think I'm at the call out I am with my conditioning in my front is because you could see the hole in the physique from the back. So when I come out the front, I don't have a lot of things that are going wrong in my front pose. Like, it's complete. When I face the back, it's not that my back is weak. In comparison to these guys who have elite backs, it makes my back exposed. So I'm not moving up because I know they expect me to achieve the potential that they know I can have, and they're not seeing it yet. And that's why I think where I'm at is where I'm at. Because with people that are telling me that I should have been higher, even Ariel saying, okay, you know, you had one of the best peaks in the show. The reason I'm not moving up is because I'm not at that point to where the judges are like, okay, he made enough improvement to bump him up. I'm literally in the same spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I thought this was the best package you've ever brought.
By far.
You looked insane. I thought your Miami package was like the next level. But this package, even your tan, bro, like your every
4 coats. I had to scrub it off. I'm still scrubbing it off, but 4 coats is.
I only got mine off. But I don't know, man. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's small margins. It truly is. And I go back and look at my physique. My physique is literally no detail. But I when I analyze it, I'm like, I feel like subtle changes can really push me significantly further.
When you do the side by side, that's where we really see it. When you talked about having a tired physique, it's not that you have less muscle, it's that you're not popping. So probably after the show, I wanted to ask you this. After the show, when you trained and had like the post-show pumps, how much different did your physique actually blow up?
Yeah, I 100% filled out. Like,
so over dieted almost to where you were just like so like trying to chase the conditioning, and it ends up being a flatter look of yourself.
I said that to my wife too, and I was like, I'm so depleted right now that my body is going to spike up just by simply having water. Like, because my calories right now are only 2,400. Like, they're pretty fucking low, and the reason for that is because, like Aaron said, I have one of those body types that can put on body fat, no problem. I can think of food and I gain weight, so I got to be careful. But I also knew that my body was so depleted, no matter what fucking went in after I peaked, because you obviously
didn't change.
You're eating a lot. Like, my shit is going to be like, I need homeostasis now. Like, no matter
you're waking up lighter in the morning. Like, you're eating more food, but waking up lighter. Your body's shuttling everything even more. Like
more. But what I'm saying is, like, I leveled out. I'm 11 pounds above stage weight, and my body, and I'm still eating low food though. So it's just like, okay, now I'm starting to inch food back up slowly. Like, starting today, actually, was the first increased food since the start of reversal. We're practically 2 weeks post show, but regardless, looking at this physique here, you can clearly see I'm flat, right? You can see that there's a good structure. There's a lot of good foundational pieces that to build on, so when this actually has a pop to it, it's going to be something, and again, it's almost like how Aaron needed to take the time to fill in his gaps early in his career. When he did that, I mean, it was lights out. And I feel like I'm probably in that situation. And that's why I get motivation from people like Ali, where it's like, yo, one good off season and a consistent peaks could put
can be done.
It could change everything. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, I've been there before. Like, I've been at that conversation. I've been 14th in the world. I've been second call outs. I've been compared with a lot of these guys. I've beaten a lot of these guys. So it gives me motivation knowing that my success is still within my control. And I think that's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? And I before I forget, I do want to add this. And again, I always say people can share their opinion. They can be 100% honest, especially on our podcast and in our comments. And I do value Aaron's opinion 100%. And actually, I appreciate him being a good friend and coming out. But the one thing I don't love is the negativity towards my coach in the comments and ripping him apart, or at least saying he needs to go somewhere else, regardless of whatever.
That's and let me speak on that too. That's what I definitely didn't want to happen, because I kept saying respectfully, and I kept saying respectfully. It's nothing bad about the coach at all. It's just like we said, it's certain levels to this, and I just think it's time for a change, and you guys done amazing things together already, but I just think,
and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if it's almost like the Matt Jansen situation to a small degree, where it's like, make sure you give him the cheers and the credit when he, had me here like this.
He brought you
on 2022, but don't be so quick, now in the current state. Don't get me wrong. Like, accountability needs to be taken not only on his end, but my end. And then we've done that. Like, we're grown ass men. We could look ourselves in the mirror and say, okay, we probably should have done X, Y, and Z. But I just never been a part of it, part of the hop on a train, even, if Aaron initially started the gas on that, but I don't think that was his intention. I just think that, again, people kind of took it around with it. And again, everybody can have their opinion. I just ask that you try to keep it respectful, because again, I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for him. And he even hopped into the comments of the video.
And I met him. I was talking to him, and he had a lot of good insight. He had a lot of good feedback to give me. I mean, you can't take something personal. Like there's certain levels that you have to get to where somebody can know your body, but there's always somebody at a higher level that's working with Olympians that may know it a little bit better. And it's nothing against it, you know.
Yeah, and like
Hold on. Would it go up a little? A little bit more, a little bit more.
how fucking
Somebody said Cullen will never stand next to Ali. Bro, you aren't even second call out, talking like you know something. I mean, I wasn't standing next to him last year when he was last call out, but you know, things happen.
don't even, bro. But that's what I'm saying. It's
No, but these are the things that I like to address because they have their opinion, but never say never. Justin Bieber said that.
Aaron, what do you think about this? Glad to see him retire. He was never anything but drama on stage. Never anything. Never anything.
Drama on stage. If any of the drama, it came off from after being on stage when he won, and everybody was kind of just talking shit.
What do you say on the last thing?
We should be doing this, Alex.
No, we shouldn't be.
Glad to see me retire. Well, I'm glad to see that you still broke and miserable, worrying about what some grown
fucking profile picture.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, bro, I'm happy. I got money. I got a nice ass whip, a couple nice whips. I got one of the baddest chicks. But I'm good. And they miserable, single, probably.
Don't get those tears on that foreign leather.
Bro, come on, man. I do this. Like,
oh man,
I do this. I love negativity. I've had it all my life. And everything that I've done, all I do is smile. I just smile because guess what? I'm doing it, not nobody else. I'm doing it.
And now that you had time to like be away from the stage and kind of let the Olympia kind of craziness die down, can you confirm that you will be back on stage in 2025, or do you still not know?
I can't.
I respect it, man. You know,
I don't know, bro. I'm having so much fun making money right now. It's fucking crazy, bro. The money is falling out of the fucking skies right now.
But to clarify, you're not retired.
Yeah.
No. Hell no, I ain't retired. Exactly. I ain't. But I'm just saying.
I think that's what people want to know. You never said that you were, but people jump to that conclusion because they're probably like, "Oh, good, he's retired." You know, now other guys have a shot.
The main thing is, like I said, is that main focus, and then reversing, and then doing what we got to do to see what the body looks like, and we'll just go from there. Nothing is solidified. Nothing is. It's to the point where, oh yeah, I'm doing this show, or I'm doing that show. No, I ain't even thinking about no damn show. So if I'm 20 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia and I feel like I need to start prepping, I'll do it. But the thing is, I'm going to stay in shape all year.
Okay, so that was my question. So I was going to say, what's your strategy for this year? Because
the main thing, bro, I'm going to push my cap. I'm pushing my cap. So when I do bring this shit, and if I do step on stage, you're not gonna say shit about me being fucking flat. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know the last 2 seasons I tried to stay within 20 to 25 pounds of my stage weight. All right, and it was the least progression I've ever made in my career. It was a regret.
Blow up.
And I will never. I'm never a fan of this. I will never tell my clients to do this, right? Unless it was warranted or needed.
But needed.
Like there's a big difference when your body is so fucking depleted, and you can tell. Like,
even like who you should tell to do it is Dorian. That's the only person that I think that can just go eat.
He'll still have striding glutes.
I get Dorian chunky. Like trust me, he hates it because there's a certain part of the time because he's a model. That's literally what he does.
That's the model. Yeah.
So like he literally he's like, hey, can we not get to that point again until like this? I was like, all right, I'll respect that. But like Dorian is one of those guys where he'll be eating 6,000-7,000 calories. And keep in mind, I'll be focusing when he gets to work. I'll be checking his insulin sensitivities. I'll make sure that he gets his glucose checked. Certain things to make sure that the carbs are actually being utilized properly. And he's one of those guys who needs 3,000 or about 2 to 3 free meals a week minimum in order to actually continue to push food up in a way where it's not blowing out his gut. But regardless, I'm not going to be at that point. I can't. My body will literally never let me. I would be a blob. But I will say this. I tried to keep myself at 10% body fat the entire year, and I managed to do that no problem. But because of that, my food has never gotten high, never above about 3,300 calories. For me, that's not high at all. And I am 6'2", in a true like comfortable state when I'm not pushing food or I'm not dropping food. My body will level out around 240 to 245, 250.
Yeah.
I
Right.
need, I want to get my body, and I'm being so serious. And this is why the only reason I'm doing this is because I have no plans on competing. I don't know when I'm competing, right? And whenever I do make that decision on when I'm targeting for a show, I'm also going to take that into account. I want to prep this year that for minimum 24 weeks, nothing less. But nonetheless, I am going to get my weight up to a point where it's about like 262, 270. I don't give a bro. When I mean my body is like,
We're
I would
not taking
definitely do
pictures
it.
next to each other.
oh, we're not. I'm gonna be like this, but I'm also be like this.
I
So
know. Yeah, but you already like at 220, you already make me look like a child. I'm like,
when my wife's pregnant, I'm gonna be chasing to try to get my gut as big as hers. But I'm telling you, man, like I just I and that's where I think that guy was a little bit right in the comments, bro. Where it's like you try to be a perfectionist, right? And you try to, and don't get me wrong, doesn't mean I can't eat my chicken and rice and beef and rice, but I think I need to do so in a way that also doesn't put a cap on my head, because every coach will say this, man, and I get it. I'm a coach too. Got to stay lean in the off season, I'm a believer in that. But as long as my insulin sensitivity is still efficient, right? As long as
Yeah,
my
that's what I just sent my check-ins to Cuts this morning. He was like, "Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're in a good spot. We can still to your abs, yes." So
yeah,
I'm like, bro, just fucking feed me already. Like I'm
yeah.
hungry as shit. Like
I'm
I'll
just
have my free meal every weekend, but I'm just ready for that food to go higher. That's the
I'm
only
at a
thing.
point right
He
now
wants
where
to see me. He wants to see me lean, and
yeah,
it's.
but that's different, bro, because you don't need to put on that like much tissue.
I don't need to put on much,
I
but
need
we're gonna be very dense. We're gonna be very fucking dense
And you
this
can,
next year.
and you can do that eating 500 calories into your surplus. Like that's not anything crazy, right?
Oh,
I want to, not need, well, I do need, but I want to see myself get to a point where I've never been before, man. And sometimes you got to do stuff you've never done to get there.
I
And I'm
think
not
it's
talking about drugs.
very possible. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Especially
Everything.
if the biggest caveat of that is you understand you have a longer prep on the front end or back end. You need to understand that, because the problem is people get that big and then they want to do a 16-week prep when it's like, hey, like you're gonna start ripping things down so quickly that you're gonna lose some tissue on the way. Me, I
Yeah.
don't I want to make sure I prioritize this next time I step on stage. I don't care if it's a 30-week prep. I've done them all before. Whatever I got to do to keep the tissue, be comfortable, and make sure that my coach doesn't feel like the timeline is rushed. But
I think we're all on the same page with after the Olympia. I mean, kind of getting, I wouldn't even say a reality check, but I have more fuel added to my fire by where I place. And I'm sure we all have that same exact mentality so we could be better. I
yeah,
just want to improve this back. And in order to improve this back, because I did a little shoot yesterday with Kevin, and he even said my back looks twice as good. And I talked to Ariel about this because I have the cap and have to make 202. The added density I added to my back didn't stick. So when I go back down, it's kind of like
yeah,
it's still improved, but it's not as I'm not as full. But when I eat, it all goes to my back, and I noticed it. And some of my photos yesterday, and even Kevin, he's like, dude, like this is where you need to be, like being 210 fasted. I mean, like 211, 212 during the daytime. It's crazy how much denser the back does appear because of the glycogen,
yeah.
but that's not muscle tissue.
I remember your back a couple weeks out from the show, and I can actually like your erectors were fucking insane. And I'm sitting there
Yeah.
like, I have never seen his back look like this. Right now, like you said, it's a big difference between having that translate to the stage. It is. I mean, not only going through hard depletion phases going in, especially for you, because you have to make sure that you cap, right? And I think that's the hardest part right now about this division, because you have people who need to make the cap and do anything they need to. Like when people get sucked down in order to make it, that's why we're talking about like the blowback effect.
The new muscle doesn't stick. Yeah.
Like Ed Vaughn, right? How many guys right now do you think, on average, like percentage wise, do you think are at least 20 pounds above stage weight?
All of them.
I think majority of people right now. I mean, I talked to Ben. Ben is taking a different approach though. Like he's doing the Arnold. So like he's using these next 10 weeks as a rebound, push food, everything he needs to do to get there. Like,
They want me to do the Arnold.
I want you to do the Arnold. You'd be going against Ali Bilal. You can get your redemption.
I want you to do the Arnold.
You'll be going against Ben, who is definitely making some noise right now. Who else is doing the Arnold? I know the other guy, Victor. I think he plays 14th or something. He's doing the Arnold. Like, there's some people doing the Arnold, man.
Yeah, everybody well, not everybody, but
you know what we should do? We know what we should do. We should plan something for the Arnold to where we have a booth and do maybe like a meet and greet or a live podcast, because I notice a lot of like bodybuilding and BS, like years ago, they used to do it there. I know Fuad does his. It would be cool to kind of have it for like specific time slots to where we could do that.
I'm definitely going to go to the Arnold. So if you guys want to plan something, get an Airbnb together, even if
I'm definitely going to. Yeah, I'm definitely going to.
I think we should all plan that and get an Airbnb.
Oh no, man. Aaron Banks ain't really gonna be appearing like that this
Come
year.
on, bro. Let's
just do one. Just do one.
Just
do one. Just for us.
Just for the boys. But think about it. Let's
bring the kids out. Bring your girl. Bring the kids.
Yeah.
Make it like a little vacation. We don't got to do the expo and everything. Just have a time slot to where we could all kind of chill and hang out. And
don't forget, we can get like, yeah, I mean, if they do the time slot thing, that'll be really cool.
Or a studio if you just wanted it to be us.
The studios are cheap, bro. Like, but take a look at this.
No, they're not expensive at all.
No, but we're gonna shoot our podcast on Friday. So make sure you get there, Drew. In Alpha Land. Like they have like a conference room or somewhere, but
okay,
we're setting that up now. Talking to the guys over there, but guys, this is something that I
put literally in the gym,
bro. That would be so
walking past. Like
there's
seriously. I don't want it to be secluded. Like I want it to be where people actually see us live and they're working out,
and then we pull them in.
We can.
That'd be kind of cool. Actually, I'm down for that. I'm down to even.
You know, there's going to be so many. There's going to be a lot of people, and especially the people who are even a part of the event. We can even pull them on to the little set and kind of like talk to them as well.
I'm down.
You got rough in, you got bikini girls, you got so many different people that are going to be in this event. I don't want to be just super secluded in the cafeteria to where it's just us three. I mean, we have to. My main thing is, and what I'm about is the experience. I want to give everybody the experience.
I agree. I think that could be something.
So that would be different.
What do you think, or Drew, when you look at this, is there something that you notice that stands out?
Well, everybody that was in the top 10 is from Olympia is doing this.
No, there's only fucking 5 Americans.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's always like that. I mean, I think there's only 14 Americans. There's only 14 Americans. No, but I'm saying there was only 14 Americans in the Olympia. So, I mean, we have one of the least amount of athletes in the Olympia lineup. But I mean, usually it's international for Arnold. They try to have some of the other guys, but this is all the Olympians in the top 10, pretty much. I think this is all the whole top 15.
There's only 4. This is, first of all, this is the Olympia, but this is 4. There's only
fuck. I thought it was the Arnold.
There's only 4 Americans in the top 15 this year.
Wow.
Out of 11 international guys.
That's wild.
Like when you think of it like that, we talked about the international guys making a name for themselves and coming. And even like, look, there's Asian competitors here like who are really, and they've always had a crazy physique, but they've never played.
I noticed that this year.
Yeah, I know in the second call out, because this guy, Joe Uzoto, he's not one of the big Asian competitors. Like a lot of people, he's not a massive follower like everyone else. But I was like, holy shit, this dude is like balanced. He looks really good. This is definitely going to be a year like you see a lot of Brazil. Like this is a year where people are gonna start making some noise overseas. And I'm telling actually it's 4 Asian. It's nuts, man. But who would you say? I know we briefly talked about this. Was there anybody in the top 15 who was the biggest shock to you? Who was like, oh shit.
Like with their placing or just with their physique?
I would say both. Like, oh shit, they made it in that contest. Or their placing or their look was amazing.
I would say
Victor
Carlos.
Ramirez.
Who?
Victor Ramirez.
Yo, because yeah, okay, I even told him he had me yesterday, and I was like, I was very impressed with your look. It was,
Bro, he's been fucking pushing since the last and I've
oh,
kind of watched his little progression. And bro, people think he's a classic guy. That guy has a physique on him.
yeah, he's big as
Like
legs, though. I get why they say that.
he
But
has a
his
physique
physique
on him.
really stood out to me. But
He stopped my qualification last year after the O at Atlantic Coast.
yeah,
Me and him, he's done it to me a couple times. He did it in Alabama, and then he did it at Atlantic Coast. And I'm kind of like, every time he's in the show, he's like, he's that guy, and I'm like, he's getting
Yeah.
better too, and he's constantly
yeah,
progressing. As I progress, he progresses. So it's like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. But for me, it was Kaiki Santos. Well,
Yeah,
he beat
Bro, that was Colombia's guy. We talked about him,
no
right? That
no
wasn't Colombia's guy.
that was Brazil. He beat who was it? Who who dropped
Was it
out?
Diogo?
Diogo. He beat Diogo to qualify after
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Diogo won the Arnold's. Like he
That
beat.
is right.
So I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, people, that guy should have been in conversations from the start.
Yeah, and
Um,
we never really talked much about him. Like,
no,
and I seen him backstage how wide he was and how full his chest was. And I'm like, who's this dude?
that's what I'm. But then, what really separated him on stage was his ability to present and pose. Like we talk about that all the time, but his presentation was absolutely phenomenal, man. It really, really stood out. He is definitely going to be
Yeah,
one.
this is my first time seeing this. I didn't even watch this.
Bro, it was impressive as hell. I can send you this too, but like his look is so men's physique, from head to toe. Like he's a pretty boy. He's
Yeah,
big as hell. He's full, right? I think he might have been the least conditioned in the top 10, but we all know that's something that he can manage and control. So when he does do that, oh my God.
he's wide. He's wide too. How
Yeah.
tall is he? Do you know?
No, he's definitely taller. I mean, he was in my
Men's height.
he was in my call. Yeah, I think he's about
Like
six,
my height.
six
He's a
foot.
little
Oh, really?
he's one inch shorter than I am.
Yeah, he looks dope.
Yeah, he's balanced. He has good presentation, good posing. He's definitely going to be one of those guys that going to make a lot of noise. And he's young, bro. He's like 25 or something, 26. Like it's crazy. Like these guys are coming. And I just can't get over how full he is
It's a
from
whole
I
different
got a
era
question.
now.
I got a question.
yeah.
And I need to address this too. So what did y'all think about them hosting a Mr. Olympia Brazil?
I think they changed. Okay, so they did end up changing the name of that because I don't think Tyler gave, this is from what I heard, he did not give a validation to, hey, go ahead and do that. So
Tyler has no say so on the name. Like that's Jake Wood's company.
okay, well, even still, the word is that I heard is that they were not happy that they called it that, so they ended up changing the name. And what was funny to me is that they said
They
that
changed it to.
I don't know, I have no idea, but I did hear they changed it. I heard that actually a couple days before the Olympia, because remember they were
It
going
was still they still promoted as Mr. Olympia Brazil. They have a whole ass page that's
to
300.
is that the one that what's his face did Dino
This
um
past weekend?
He
yeah.
won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think was it called like muscle contest something? Let me
Um,
see. Yeah, muscle contest Brazil. I think it was called. They changed it. They changed it. But
no, they didn't.
what
No, they didn't. Mr. Olympia Brazil, 200 and some thousand followers, and
oh
it's
yeah,
still
you're
there.
right. You're right. Look. Oh wait. Okay, so it's the amateur, so they can do this because in India they have the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they can call if it's an amateur, that's different. But I was going to say because I know for a fact that because remember they said they were going to fly all the athletes out from the
Yeah,
Olympia.
but it's still branched off of the Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
So my thing is, are you going to have a Mr. Olympia Africa? Are you going to have a Mr. Olympia UK? Are you going to have a Mr. Olympia in Canada? Like, I just feel they just went and targeted Brazil for the money.
Yeah, but listen, like even still, like the money in Brazil where passion for bodybuilding makes sense, just like it is in India. Like the passion, they gonna show up and they're gonna make money whoever puts that on. In Africa,
Right.
I'm sure there's elite level of athletes out there who aren't even known yet, but they're probably not going to make a lot of money if bodybuilding isn't a big, representation there. But I don't know. I think that Brazil, like
Trust me,
where would you do that? Brazil, India,
Alex, Alex,
Tokyo. They do it in Tokyo
Alex,
too.
Alex. We ain't being political, not today, goddamn it. No, we not. No, we not.
Bro, all right.
We know why they did that. Look who's a part of that team.
I mean,
You said him.
The
You
guys,
said him.
the guys who are part of that team though are the top guys in the Olympia. So like it's just reinvesting back.
No, they're not. No, we're talking about the team. I'm not talking about an athlete. We're talking about who's a part of that team.
All right, speak it. Because if I don't know it, I know damn well that the fans
It's just a Brazilian team. Muscle contest.
bro, you guys
Let me ask you guys something. Quick conversation change. If Dino brought this look to Olympia, would you have had him in second?
Nope.
No. Bro, fucking Mike will win the Mr. Olympia next year. Mike will win.
I love Urz's look.
I thought Mike's routine was one of the best routines I've ever seen since Terrence Ruffin.
Terrence Ruffin's routine actually made me a big tear up at the Olympia or at the Arnold. Like,
hey, but don't sleep on T Ruff. T Ruff putting on some size to bring to come back.
I just saw him. I just saw him at the Animal Paradise gym, and he's
a
short little dude, but he's jacked, bro.
I'm telling you, Terrence is going to be one of those guys like that. I want to.
He's going to come back with a bang. I see the shit.
I want to come back like Terrence. Like I'm going to take time off and then show back up where it's like, what the fuck? That's what I want.
No, Buddy went and put on size.
This is the best poser in the IFBB.
Oh, hands down.
It's so like you watch it, it's just like fuck, so emotional and so like strong and flows so well. But
every pose he hits is just perfect. He knows his angles, he knows everything to do. And his physique. I mean, this to me is classic. That's a classic physique. That's just tapered waist, everything's just complete. You can't say one thing's out of balance. His conditioning, his lines, he's grainy. He's
all right. Top two next year, Mike and Ruff.
I like it. I'm biased because I love
if Ruff put on that size.
Oh, this combo.
I'm curious.
212 is 90,000.
That's where I was.
What did that happen?
I had no idea.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 90, bro.
The one thing that isn't featured here is second place for the Open was $250,000. That's more than all the other ones added.
Take this off my screen. Because I'm gonna say some shit that I might not ever come back.
Wait,
take that shit.
This is because I just want to highlight this briefly. I think it's total. I think the open bodybuilders should be getting more. I'm not saying out of the pot, but I think in general, they're the best bodybuilders in the world, right? When you think of bodybuilding, you think of open bodybuilding. So there's no issue with the prize raising. And shout out to the Olympian Jake Wood for even throwing out extra $100,000 on top of it to increase it, right? That adds validation for everybody else, right? I hate to say this because it sounds like a Republican thing. It trickled down, right? You pay the big guys, it'll trickle down. And then when it comes to what I was surprised about was classic physique only making 60,000. I think they're the second most popular division in all of bodybuilding.
It's a whole digit less.
Yes, no, don't get me wrong, but in general, I think bodybuilders should be getting paid $1 million. I think classic physique should minimally getting paid $500,000, right? And then, regardless, when we say, "Hey, but you guys don't put the ass in the seats," listen, I get it. Like you won't see a lot of men's physique fans comparative to open fans go sit down and watch it, especially at shows like the Olympia. But I can guarantee, with how wide our fan base is in terms of the amount of people who will not only compete in men's physique or fans of men's physique, they buy the live stream. They are the ones who are, competing at the shows. Like the NPC, I'd be making money off that, right? And it's just to me, it's a little crazy that even, but not just men's physique, but in general, but how specifically right now men's physique is only making $50,000 for the greatest bodybuilding show in the world, the Super Bowl of our sport. It's 50,000 when Dubai was 40,000.
It's okay. Dubai is going to be 80,000 next year.
What?
I'll just say it first.
You see what I mean? Like, what do you do? And that's the thing. Like, I don't think for men's physique, the Olympia would be like, yeah, well, we're going to raise it to match that, because they don't. I feel like it's not to them. It's the cash money being raised for open is like it being raised in general, when it's really not. You know what I mean? It's not for every division. And if Dubai raises to 80,000, say just for men's physique, like, I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it's like how can the biggest show in the world being paid, or make their top athletes in the world, make significantly less? It's just like Aaron literally made. Aaron made more money than Ryan competing, and he placed third this season, because he did 2 shows, and Aaron and Ryan.
I've made the most money as the men's physique champion ever.
And you raised it. But the thing that sucks is that we're doing something to expand the sport, and as much time and effort and energy as we're all putting in. Obviously, Aaron last year with putting up, helping encourage the money for Legion. We talked about this. It's a little bit disrespectful to have the money that low, especially when they know that they're dishing out so much more to even second place in the open. And I get that that's the division. That's the epitome of bodybuilding. That's the gold standard, top standard. But the difference in the prize money, and honestly, even at the press conference, I don't think that Aaron was even asked a question.
I think the press conference was insane. I couldn't finish watching it.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Oh, we can't have this conversation right now, because I'm gonna really go in, because right now I'm boiling. Right now, I'm boiling.
What do you guys think? Like, we talk about it, right? And don't get me wrong, dude. This year, in terms of prize money in general, right, has clearly been risen to a new standard amongst all divisions, even ours. Like, we can't sit here and act like it's not. Even if it's a marginal difference for ours compared to everybody's, it's still something that we can emphasize. People like Sarah Vargas putting like what, $15,000 or something out of her own pocket into a show to give back. That's fucking amazing. We have Wolfpack Bag investing in wellness. We have New Tech, if I'm not mistaken, where who was it? The Mint 45 investing, adding $10,000 to every single show for open. Like, there's stuff happening, and it's insane and it's amazing. But do we need a company in men's physique to invest in, in our division like everybody else is? What do you guys think it is, and why isn't our prize money, matching at least, the other competitors?
I think it's all going to open, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it clearly is. It's clearly showing that the total is 850,000 versus 50,000. If you're going to statistically put this out, like that's 10%. You know what I mean? Like, it's barely anything.
Is that the Olympia's fault though, or is it the fans not supporting us in person? Like, what do you
see how many athletes are part of men's physique? You see it. Like, and when you see that many people competing, the cash flow is coming in. So I don't think it has to do with that. I think it's the priorities of where they're putting the money based on. I mean, I don't know if it's, obviously a lot of people watch bodybuilding, but you're seeing a lot of people cover men's physique. Look at what we're doing for men's physique, and even the pay-per-views and all of that. There's a lot of fans that watch men's physique. I wouldn't say as much as open, but even if you compare it to classic, I think more people watch classic specifically for Bumstead than the open, to be honest with you. I think Bumstead has, like set the trajectory to be so far. Like you go to the Meet the Olympians, his line is wrapped around the building. It's more than all the fans combined for open bodybuilders for just Bumstead.
Just watch this year. Watch.
Yeah, but Aaron, you're not competing. What the fuck?
No.
If they 80,000, bro, you're not going back. 80,000, you're not going back to get your fucking title. Come on, bro. 80,000. Think about how many fucking apartments.
Let me tell you something. They ain't doing that. They don't give a fuck about no damn man's physique. They asked us one motherfucker.
I'm talking about Dubai.
That goddamn press conference.
I'm talking about Dubai. $80,000. You're not going back and get your title.
Hell no. They can have that shit, bro.
Man, you must be really in a chill mood.
I got a supplement company that's gonna make me 3 times that.
Yeah, priorities.
When are you launching that?
That should be, well, website will be launched end of this week. Product should be in 3 weeks.
I want that hoodie you had at the Olympia, bro.
That hoodie go crazy.
I want
that hoodie go crazy. That should drop. It's gonna drop like I think I'm gonna do a drop like 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before Christmas, because it's gonna be here after Black Friday because of the ports and shit.
Yeah, we just got
a good time to do it.
Hold on, I'm about to continue this conversation. I'm about to show y'all some samples for some unreleased shit that's coming from Manifest.
Yeah, show it.
I'll be right back.
Let me see. Yeah, but man, it's just I hate to speak on it, man, with this money and the level of respect for men's physique. It's downing, you know, it's so downing.
I agree, but sometimes talking about it is the only way that people will hear it. Some people, you know,
I can't be the only one to talk. I'm the only one.
But it needs to start somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who talks about it and voices my opinion. And you know, it's like I need everybody else to be on board because, okay, why not? We got 6 Mr. Olympia. That's hard. We got 6 Mr. Olympias, right? For men's physique. I'm the only one who has said anything about anything. Anything. Nobody else talks.
These are 5. Changing the slight
color. It looks like an olive green with yellow.
You got the tridents on
the manifesting it. That's hard.
Yep. We're changing this green a little bit, but this is gonna come out. This is coming out.
Make sure y'all go use Cody Banks because it's up.
Yeah, they look nice. They look all right.
This one's weird, but
got some trunks.
Classic, Jansen in the classic, baby. Oh yeah,
that's dope.
Guys, I wish you guys. This is nothing. We get samples in like now, and not to mention we placed bulk orders for almost everything for 2025 because of how quickly things sold out this time around. So it was like a height spike, and then like inventory went down. And then our number one question: when are you restocking? And I'm just like, this is like so stressful. It's a good problem.
And the restocking thing it's, geez, bro, it's so crazy. Restocking takes so damn long.
It's not as simple as just clicking, a button and paying money to get something done, right? It's like it takes time. But
Alex, when we get off here, lay those down and send me a picture of them.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna check them out.
But
I like the trident transparent in the background.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Our design,
like the monogram.
Yes. Yeah, that shit's hard.
Our designs. Wait till you see the Miami ones. They got like, if you look closely, they got the palm trees.
See, there you go. Hey, Drew, now you coming over here. He already talking about some fucking Miami shit.
They're all right.
Got him.
Listen, we all fly out. Well, me and Aaron fly out tomorrow, I believe, and Drew, you fly out Friday. But we're going to be in Houston, Texas this weekend for a posing seminar. We'll be at Alpha Land throughout the week.
You stupid for flying back out Saturday. You stupid.
Why?
Because they planned for everybody to go out to this club. I don't think they told you.
One, I asked them to fly me back Sunday morning because they had me flying out Sunday night. And I was like, flying out Sunday night. Sundays are for my family, so I had to be back. But they were like, the only thing that we can do that's not astronomical and like money is Saturday night. So I had to bite that bullet. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but I've never been a club guy. I'd rather sit in a fucking room with you guys and record a podcast and chill. But Aaron's gonna be.
Megan. We gonna loosen them up one day or another. I'm sorry, Megan. He a little boring. We gotta spice his life up.
You gotta stop taking bodybuilding so serious and being like those
old
school
school
guys.
So damn seriously, bro. Open up. Your clients are gonna be okay, bro.
Be like E-Banks.
Yeah. Get 50%. Just go get the Olympia title because it's so easy to do.
I understand that, like, you're not a club guy. I am, but then I'm not, because I don't do the whole standing around club thing. But I mean, I'll buy bottles and sit down and just fucking enjoy watching people. That's what I do.
It's who you're with too. Like,
it's celebrating just the people that I'm rocking with. You know what I mean?
I'm different. Like, I'm not saying different, but there's club people, and then there's people who enjoy like rooftop bars. They dress up, they look good, they're comfortable, they're in a nice environment.
That's my vibe. That's my vibe.
They can have good conversation. That's me. If I can't have a conversation because the music's too loud, that's not me. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am.
We're the same.
I would rather have a nice drink in my hand, sitting with my boys with a nice environment, nice little ambiance, and somebody keep bringing me drinks.
Bro, we gotta actually get it. Y'all like baseball?
Love baseball.
I'm all right with it. I used to follow it a lot more.
There's this lounge literally in San Diego that overlooks the Padres Stadium. Bro, lit, great music, great vibe, great energy. Bro, hella raw.
That's
like,
what I'm talking about.
We got to go out there and just kind of kick it.
All right,
I gotta come out there, man.
Before we get out of here, what's your go-to drink? You're sitting, you're chilling, you're relaxing on a rooftop bar.
I'm 1942 on the rocks with a squeezed lemon.
Yeah, that's bougie. What about you?
So I'm 11 months sober. When I used to drink, I used to do Crown and Diet.
Look at that.
But
and then
I went through the simple shit, but it wasn't just one drink. I would keep going and going and going. That was my problem. So, but now I mean, dude, I like some bubbly soda.
31. When I turned 31, I stopped getting over the top, like tipsy. But because after you turn 30, bro, you start to feel that shit.
Macallan 16, 18, I always really liked. I like Scotch. I was never a fan of bourbon, but you know, I could still do a mocktail. I know Zach bought me some zero alcohol tequila. We didn't even try it, but you know, he ended up going to finals. I was so bummed out about the Olympia placing, but you know, he got that. Like, I'm always down for some stuff like that, but mainly, like Alex said, it's about, you know, having the right people around you, just kind of enjoying the moment, stuff like that. And you know, is being able to chill when you're not in prep, because you kind of take it for granted when you're in prep. It's all you could think about doing. You know, you visualize like hanging out with your boys and just having a meal or something, or a couple drinks and sitting back. But you know, we're so limited to doing this all the time. So, you know, it's something that I look forward to and something that we're definitely going to be doing.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And lastly, I'm a spicy margarita guy, but fellas. I cannot wait to see y'all this weekend. This was a good one.
And then the following weekend, these guys, the guys at Elevate, they're flying me to freaking Canada, bro. I'm nonstop every weekend.
Bro,
so
Canada,
from Houston to Canada to Paris to Cancun to Tokyo.
He's on tour.
I'm on tour, bro. We everywhere.
The E-Banks Cowboy Tour.
Hey, literally, bro.
I gotta go eat a meal.
Same.
Can't wait to see y'all this weekend. Fellas, if y'all can, like, subscribe, share this. Again, we are doing everything that we can to continuously elevate the Men's Physique podcast. If you can, comment below. Make sure you keep it positive. And if it's not positive, you might be restricted.
And you won't know it.
You won't know it.
We out and